This is an out, so that needs to go to an in. That's why I said, like, if
so
we're
I
running
have that's in the right spot. Okay, so...
No, we don't need an out for this. I just use this to capture the sound for the video.
Oh, okay. So that's how we connect yours into mine. That's okay. So that's how we connect yours into mine. Okay. Why are we having troubles with this today?
I don't know, man.
They shouldn't, because everything's on the up and up.
Yeah.
All right. Well, unplug all that other shit, and do what we were doing originally. If it's one fucking side, who gives a shit? We don't have time. We don't have time. We don't have the. He's gonna get that little LFO thing.
I know, he should have it synced up with his bass line a bit more. They're kind of button heads.
We should be live.
But you might.
Hey, it just got fuller.
It's all cutting off Nick.
That's alright.
Hey everybody, thanks for joining us again for another episode of Emergency Exit Podcast. We'll be with you shortly, ironing out some kinks, but we have to get on the air. So, you're listening to the Flat Earth Asshole singing We Don't Have Time, featuring Barack Hussein Obama.
He ain't my president.
He's not anybody's.
Yeah, I guess you could argue that.
I mean, for a year now.
We don't have time, we don't have time.
For me to cut the Flat Earth Society?
For the Flat Earth Society.
They're saying for me to something.
We don't have time for a meeting with the Flat Earth Society.
Oh.
You ever hear that before? So all the Flat Earth Society? So all the Flat Earthers are all like, they use that. Oh, he doesn't have time for the Flat Earth Society. Of course not.
Oh, no. That's what we're for. Also, why do all their songs and videos have to be so aggressive? Like, I get it, there are people like us that are definitely being assholes about it. So be aggressive towards us, but if you're trying to write a song to open up the minds of the general population, maybe you should be a bit more fucking inviting. You know?
Sure.
You're she, fucking wake up, fuck. Like, dude, fucking relax. Nobody wants to listen to this when they feel like they're being attacked.
You're absolutely right.
Do something awesome and inviting like a goddamn Scientology. If you're failing worse than Scientology, dude.
All right, let's
get it together.
Let's get this show on the road.
Let's. Okay, you need either the table to be a couple inches higher or a chair to be just a bit lower.
You can hack them legs off.
These are chairs, man. I don't want to do that.
I gotta cut that off, huh?
You are now listening to
Our contestant is Carlos. His friends call him Los. Los?
That's right.
I do tend to explode only when by myself.
What's the big deal that
She
she
touched
did
a man's trash can.
that? Bro.
Right now, I'm spinning a Schedule 1 felony. Allegedly. It's bullshit.
He's the mole, dude. He's got the mole in the base of his cock, dude. It's fucking like a hole.
Mom, you are a horrible human being. You know what? Why don't you die from breast cancer or something?
Wow.
No, you take that back.
That's usually, it's, hey, I'm so-and-so, blah, blah, blah. I'm also a Mormon.
but in the event of an emergency, your regular exit
Took me a long time to make that, actually. I listened to a bunch of episodes. Here we go.
There's no way out. There's no way out.
Oh, that's right. Now is the time to open your mind. In our search for the unknown, who knows what we will find? This is Emergency Exit. This is episode 63. Today is January 22nd, 2018. We are broadcasting to you again from the emergency exit in our floating tin can. I am your host, Los. With me, as always, is Nick, the Passion Rider.
Hey.
And Brandon, the Hard Hat Mitchell.
Hey, what's up?
Thank you guys for joining. We are back again. Nick Ryder.
Yo.
Brandon, the Hard Hat.
Yes.
We are back again.
You just
Giving
just
it to
said
us.
that.
I did say that. I
Again.
did just say that, and I'll
back
keep saying
again.
that there.
We
What
are
is
back
that?
again.
Either way, we are live on Facebook Live. Feel free to come on. But by the way, if you're listening to this now on a podcast, I guess they can't go on. Oh wait, you can go and actually watch it on Facebook. And while you're there, give us a like. Show us some love, you know?
Yeah.
It's alive.
We
That's
want to
right.
see a bunch of them hearts flying across the screen.
That's
Yeah,
right.
send us the love, guys.
That's right.
If we're reaching into your ear holes, give us that little click.
Did I say that's right? All right.
Probably.
All right, this is episode 63. On today's show, we get a glimpse into the insanity of a flat earth asshole's
right.
epic meltdown and his renouncement of the flat earth when we go Flearthing. Later, we discuss government shutdown, where everybody's to blame when we give you the news. Let's just hop right in and do some Flearthing, guys. What do you think, huh?
All right.
Let's do it.
Boom, right here.
We gon' Flearthing. Science is a lie. We gon' Flearthing. There's a dome in the sky. We gon' Flearthing. The Bible is why we gon' Flearthing.
That's right. So, I don't know if you guys know anything about the flat earth asshole. Brandon, have you heard about the flat earth asshole?
Just when it came to this show,
Okay,
I was
yeah.
brought onto it. Yeah.
And you too, right, Nick?
Yeah, I was not previously aware of such a fella.
Let me tell you a little bit about this guy, all right?
He seems like a great character.
Piece a few things together just from his name.
Yeah, I think some obvious things right off the bat
Yeah,
that
yeah.
he believes in flat earth and he's got an asshole.
And he's if you're a self-claimed asshole, then there's just really no hope for you.
Well, yeah, some people will make a good living out of it, like Steve, the Stone Cold Steve Austin. He was an asshole.
Dennis
you know?
Leary.
Dennis Leary. Yeah, I'm an asshole.
He had a whole song claiming it. That's right, yeah.
I'm an asshole.
Correct.
He's got a YouTube channel. It's got 24.
Dennis Leary?
No, excuse me. Flat Earth Asshole has a YouTube channel with 24,000 subscribers and about 150 videos. He's
Damn.
getting up there. He is a loud and aggressive personality who mostly just talks to the camera and doesn't really go out and interview real people, especially the ones that he claims to have debated. He has fought names such as Neil deGrasse Tyson,
Oh, I'm sure he did.
Vsauce, Joe Rogan, and Eric Dubé, who is himself a flat earther, so he goes against flat earthers too. And those are just to name a few of
What, they're
them.
just like different sects of
they-
flirting?
Yeah, he challenges their
It'd
beliefs.
be like a Catholic going against a Baptist or something.
Well, maybe he just
How
disagrees.
do you break that up?
He just disagrees
Throw a
with
small child in the middle.
There you go.
he just disagrees
Nice.
with them with some of the things they say.
Right. Whether it's dome or not, or ice wall or not, or whatever.
I think he's really against the ice wall and the dome, the flat earth asshole here.
Is he into puddles?
Probably. I don't know where that sound's coming from.
gotta
Don't
be
worry
you.
about it. Is it?
Gotta be.
Okay.
That ain't me.
Oh, it's coming from my Facebook. Excuse me. Let me keep going here. So
right.
his videos consist of him taking an interview of like Bill Nye, who's talking about flat Earth and how it's bullshit, and then he refutes the statements. He often calls them his opponents as well. So
Which is easy to do when you're just talking over a video instead of to the actual person.
absolutely. So
Which is what we are about to do with the asshole.
yeah, we're gonna do that. We're gonna do the same thing
Perfect.
he
Give him the
does.
same treatment.
But we're not going to. I guess we can stop anytime we feel like we need to refute his statements. But let's listen. This is a great clip of him battling Bill Nye and his response to the science guy's proof of a round Earth.
Okay.
Come on, Bill. You know better than that.
Oh my! Now this discovery that the world is round was made. In 15. It was published in 1540. Now I'm concerned. It was Copernicus I'm concerned it might have been 1530, but it was about then. It was in the 16th century that the Earth was shown to be a ball.
Really? It was shown to be a ball in the 1500s. Well, how did they get up there high enough to capture the whole ball? And what kind of camera did they use in the 1500s?
I mean, can we stop it yet?
Yeah, let's stop right there and listen to that for a second. Well, let's talk about that for a second, rather.
Because this guy's obviously an idiot already.
Yeah.
And this is actually about 3/4 of, maybe a little halfway through this video, which is about an hour and a half long. Where he, at the end of this video, if you watch it, which I don't recommend, but it's good to give it one watch to see what's out there. He actually goes up in front of the camera and he goes, "I want to be a science guy. Wait, I know." And then he starts like shaving his face. And then he puts on glasses and puts on the
bow
tie. And then,
yeah.
and then he goes, "I'm Jake the Science Guy." And he does this whole little lame parody, which is just poorly filmed, by the way. Just my opinion, because I've filmed some good stuff before. I can say so. But
Yeah,
what do
okay.
you have to say about it?
Well, really, how did they get up high enough?
And what
let's go cameras
right
were
into
they
that.
using? Like, all right, it was shown to be a ball because they fucking were able to measure the curvature of it, and they found curvature. And what's going to happen? Like, they weren't taking fucking don't be stupid. Don't be intentionally stupid. And that's not proof. Like, you didn't refute Bill Nye's point by being an idiot.
He absolutely did not refute it at all, in my opinion.
Made himself look like a giant asshole. Oh, wait, I guess that's his point. But still.
But it was known to be a ball by a lot of other people before Copernicus in the Western world, what we now call the Western world, Western Hemisphere. The ancient Greeks noticed that from time to time, the Earth casts a shadow on the moon. This is a lunar eclipse. And the only shape that always produces a curve, no matter what the orientation. That is to say, whether you're standing in Greece at night, or if you're standing then 12 hours later in blah, blah, blah.
And it's good to point out, which is something I've been learning about moon phases, because I'm really keeping up with that, which is really interesting to me. That right now, the light that we always see on the moon, or rather the shadow we see on the moon, that is always
the same.
Not only it's always the same, but we're seeing it at a different angle, right? Because of the way it rotates around us. But the Earth never casts a shadow on the moon unless it's a solar eclipse or a lunar eclipse. Excuse me. That's what Bill Nye's talking about. Otherwise, we're not seeing a curve because it's reflecting, or we're blocking the light somehow, and it's getting there. Rather that it's a sphere, and that's how we know it's a curve.
Because no matter like where you are, as long as you're in an area that can see this eclipse, it's going to look curved, which would only happen on a fucking sphere. And
you also have to take account that the flat earthers don't have a good explanation for eclipses.
They have one for solar, which, I mean, is stupid as shit, but they can't explain lunar.
Let's hear flat earth assholes' lunar theory.
At night. The curve, the shadow is always curved. So the ancient Greeks knew that the Earth was a ball.
Sorry, Bill, but lunar eclipses are not a proof of a globular Earth or a flat Earth. In fact, lunar eclipses can be explained in a few different ways in the flat Earth model.
Oh boy, oh boy.
For instance,
here we go.
Many different cultures believed there was a third celestial body equal in size to the sun and moon that causes the eclipses, and this was known as Rahu, or the Black Sun. Now, I can't tell you if Rahu or the Black Sun is indeed real, but I can tell you that the moon seems to be a light of some sort of its own, and it is not reflecting sunlight. The moon appears to be creating its own light. So perhaps eclipses are when the moon is rebooting itself or resetting itself to begin its
fucking loading bar
process again.
The buffering circle.
If you try and shed light upon a sphere, it does not light up the same way the moon lights up. This leads me to believe, and many flat earthers to believe, that the moon itself is a light. Somewhat like the sun, the moon is producing its own light. However, the moon's light is different than the sun's light. Whereas the sun's light is warm and golden, the moon's light appears to be cool, cold light, if you will.
Okay. Oh, fucking K. Last time we talked to someone else about this third celestial being, I remember having a big fucking problem with it. Like, one guy wrote about if there's a third fucking celestial being floating around, we would see it all the time, like we do with the sun and moon. So that Rahu can get the fuck out of here.
Of course.
Next, rebooting?
Yeah, it's rebooting so that it can light up again.
Did Earth have to call IT because the moon was out and had to turn it off and turn it back on again? Like, what in the fuck is he talking about?
I've heard
and
that
as a
before.
Source of light, like, okay, but how come, like, have you ever seen, like, as it's almost dusk or just after dawn where you can still kind of see the moon in the sky when the sun's out?
I see the moon in the sky all the time.
Right,
when
in
it's light.
the day sky.
Yeah.
And it's not giving off light.
Nope.
So
it's brighter than the sun, if that's the case.
Right.
Well,
but,
it wouldn't be brighter than
it
the
looks
sun.
like, I mean, it's like a remnant of it, or...
You see it fully in the sky. I've seen it many times.
But it's
like I said,
not
I've
like
been tracking
another
it.
light source. It's not like fucking Luke Skywalker's
No.
sunset where you have two separate light sources. So it's not giving off its own light. So
But it's
boom, refuted. All three
Well,
right there.
you know, I don't know exactly if it's. I definitely think the world is what we've been told by scientists all over the
Because
world.
they have no reason to fucking lie about
Of course,
it.
they don't. But that one's an interesting theory. You know, I guess you could say they've got some clout, but the way that it glows, you know, it still has to be lit up by the sun, and the moon phases is what proves
Exactly.
it. So it proves around
Every single month
globular
it needs
Earth.
to be rebooted.
I
and
mean,
how
for
come
instance,
sometimes it's red?
if you go out right now, where it's starting the first quarter, it was just a new moon, so now we're just starting to creep up. It's a nice, brilliant crescent right now. In a couple days, I think the 24th, it's going to be the first quarter, and which means it's going to be halfway around its journey around us, and we will see half of it lit up, and it's a beautiful sight. You can use that to use some trigonometry to find out how far the sun is from the moon using trigonometry, knowing where it is a certain day and using the two of them because they'll both be out at the same time during the day. So
and you measure that angle.
You measure the angle, and it'll tell you how many times it's away from it, and then you use what the knowledge we have where it's at from us, and it'll be able to tell us how far that sun is, and the math always adds up to like 90-something million miles or whatever away from there.
More
So
else, yeah.
it totally, absolutely, completely makes sense.
Well, yeah. I mean, there's just no way that it's its own light source.
But the
'cause
light source does not.
even
make
if
sense.
it was still out in the day, like if you have two lights on, you see the light from both of them. You know what I mean? Like if it was also giving off light as the sun does, you would be seeing light from both of them.
Well, I think the existence of shadows kind of offsets that because if you've got two different light sources,
Right.
you're not going to have a shadow if they're coming from different.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
And why would the moon be round and the Earth not be round?
Right. How can we know other
Yeah,
planets
we are the
around?
only flat
We're
one.
the only flat one.
So
And his thing on the light being I guess created by the moon, it's cold light. Is
Cold
that,
light,
that
yeah.
Okay, there's not
Blue
such a
light.
thing, right? Like
Not that I've
cold
ever heard.
light, like all light, is energy, so it is probably a
right.
little bit warmer than the
Like if you
area
if
around.
you put a magnifying glass out on the moonlight, would that freeze things instead of set it on
Yes.
fire?
That
Just
would
turn
be-
ants into little frozen blocks or something?
you don't know. Do the test. Why don't you go?
I
and
will
do-
if
just,
you-
you know what you always have to say is
Do some research.
Yeah, if I can ever harness, because it doesn't focus in moonlight, because it's not a direct light.
It's already
If
so
you get a
spread
magnifying
out.
glass out in the moonlight, it doesn't focus in a beam of it. Like
I guess if
sunlight
you got
does.
a big enough one, you
maybe.
But-
So we need a giant magnifying glass to experiment on little ants with.
yeah, for science.
All right, Flirth asshole.
Oh, so
Can we
let's-
just start calling him Flirth hole?
I'm gonna keep talking about Mr.
sorry,
Jake
sorry.
here. Jake Gibson. That's who he is.
Jake
He's Jake
Gibson.
Gibson. He's the flat Earth asshole. He's an interesting character, man. I've interacted with him once online. I tried to
right.
invite him to the program.
Well, we're not up to Bill Nye and Neil deGrasse Tyson level, so he wouldn't go round and round. He
Definitely
wouldn't rope
not.
us.
I mentioned how the South Star proves around Earth, and it's very possible I might have called him like an idiot or moron, and he blocked
Oh.
me. So
blocked?
that was
Okay, so they can go around, being all aggressive, calling people sheep, but you idiot, and you get a block.
maybe
Right.
that was my bad, and it's possible I didn't either.
Has he ever called someone idiot?
Well, he's He does. He
Okay, so he shouldn't be so sensitive about being called an idiot. Like,
calls them morons and
call people out if you want, but if you get called out, you got to be able, you got to give and take, man.
Yeah.
You got to give and
Don't
take.
be that guy.
But this guy's really funny, man. He's known.
Oh yeah, I'm cracking up.
He's known to spring up. He's known to go to local like open mics or karaoke bars,
good.
sign up, and then rant about the lunar module being a homeless a tweaker shelter, among other ideas. Needless to say, he does not believe NASA sent men to the moon.
Of course not.
Here's a clip. Here's a clip. of him.
Anything NASA related would be false.
Yeah, he definitely does not
Obviously.
believe in NASA.
Right.
So here's Jake at karaoke.
You mean an open mic?
What? Yeah, Carrie. I'm curious to hear the song that's playing.
Before y'all leave Taurus, let me tell y'all just a little something. NASA never went to the moon. They fucking lied. They've been lying to y'all for a long time. They ain't going to Mars. That's a fucking RC card out in the desert. They only told you it's on Mars. Nobody ever walked on the moon. Does this look like a lunar module or a homeless tweaker shelter? Looks more like a homeless tweaker shelter. They ain't been back to the moon since 1972. You know why? Because they never fucking went. Don't believe me? Just watch. Come on.
Oozing talent.
So
And
he's
charisma.
got some balls, man. Gumption, if you will.
Great.
So he also does this really funny thing where he calls NASA and he leaves them a harsh voicemail on there.
God.
Oh wow!
And they don't respond?
Oh, they obviously they haven't.
NASA.gov. That's www.nasa.gov. Your interest in NASA is greatly appreciated.
Record your message at the tone. When you are finished, hang up or press pound for more options.
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah, this is the Flat Earth asshole. I'm an American taxpayer, and I was just wondering why you guys have been stealing our money and faking space travel for, several decades. Just one of those inquiries I had, us public citizen taxpayers. We're starting to figure it out. Lots of us.
Lots of
You
us.
guys
A few of
have
us,
been
really.
All around the
faking
world.
us out and not actually going to space while stealing our money. I'd like to talk about it. So if you could get in touch with me, my number is 1-111-111-111.
You don't have to slow down.
And maybe another 1 in there. In fact, if you want to get a hold of me, just press 1 for a while. And when I answer, you will know you have pressed 1 enough. All right.
What the?
So,
It's kind of
nobody's
pathetic.
going to call me back from NASA, of course. So the object is to get somebody real on the phone.
So
Well, you didn't leave a real callback number.
No shit. Like, you think they have someone just sitting around answering every phone call that comes into fucking NASA because they have nothing else to do?
They're definitely just ignoring
I mean,
it.
I'm sure they have.
Nobody listens to
Surely
that.
they have someone.
They have
at the
his
front desk,
number
I guess.
blocked.
Some kind of.
If he said words like bomb and tomorrow, and everyone will die, like those kind of things that are, like trigger that algorithm that they have. Otherwise, nobody listens to it. He should use that
Probably
kind of
not,
tactic.
but if you leave a stupid number with not even enough digits in it, by the way, and it's all a giant joke to you, why the fuck would they call you back? Like,
I'm
That's
pretty
why I'm like,
sure-
if you're at least going to be out there and try and, like, this guy's, he's just looking for clicks.
Yeah.
He's just a legit asshole.
Sure, man.
yeah, there's nothing legit about what you like. I'm trying to get NASA on the phone. No, you're not.
Yeah.
Unless you go from an anonymous number, because after your first little stunt like that, they've got your number fucking flagged.
Oh, yeah.
They're not answering that shit.
Of course, and that's probably why he keeps going to voicemail. They're
Yeah,
like,
have
"Fuck this
you
guy."
ever been blocked before? I'm sure you have.
Just go straight to voicemail.
Welcome to the block party.
Yeah.
So,
Hot dogs down on the left.
and cocks to the right. He's made a lot of friends.
much
in the,
wieners.
so much, so many.
First dick joke of the show.
So
Count it. What? 20 minutes in? All right.
20 minutes in, Jake the asshole here. He has made a lot of friends in the flat earth
Has
community.
he? Oh, okay.
He's made a lot.
It seems like a lot of enemies I could see, but
He's probably due to these tactics and all-around abrasiveness. The flat earth com generally doesn't like him. So even those friends generally don't like him. Perhaps no one likes an asshole. It's pretty easy to say that right there.
very true.
Jake the flat earth asshole goes on a fellow YouTuber's website or his show. His name is Antonio Subirats. Subirats. He's got beef with the asshole of flat earth, and he wants credit for the research that he presents. And Jake has a complete meltdown. Let's check this fucking thing out.
Also made a video called Lunacy Lander, from where your T-shirt comes from. You know the Tweaker
now
shelter?
you're gonna take credit for my fucking T-shirt?
The Tweaker shelter?
Fuck you, dude.
The Tweaker shelter.
This is your job. You're just as fake as all of them. You're just
the
as
Tweaker
fake as all of
shelter.
them. Fucking fake as all of them. Your job today was to piss off Flat Earth asshole and make this little video. Well, good job. Here I am. You got me. You want to take credit for my shirt? You want to take credit for being the smartest guy in the Flat Earth? You've got your all the problems figured out. You know what the sun does? You know what the map does? You've got every problem figured out. Where the fuck is your map? Show it to us.
1 second.
Show us how you fixed everything.
One
you
second,
haven't done
Jake.
that. Whenever I watch you, you just sit here on your fucking couch talking like a smug little bitch. You haven't proved everything right.
Didn't you say 2 minutes ago?
All the problems.
Jake,
you haven't.
Jake, didn't you say 2 minutes ago that you never watch me?
Hello? Can't hear you.
Yes. Didn't you say 2 minutes ago that you never watch me?
No, never.
You said that 2 minutes ago.
I'd heard
About
of
5
you,
minutes
but I
ago
never
after that,
sat
right?
and watched any of your shit because you were connected to Patrick Steer. You had
Brilliant.
sex with Patrick Steer, so I
Brilliant.
don't trust anything you have to say or do.
What?
You also
Brilliant.
want me to be friends with Matt
Brilliant.
Powerland. And you even said you want to try to reconnect me as friends with Matt Powerland. So
Brilliant.
therefore I know
Brilliant.
you're full of shit, dude.
Yes, yes.
You are full of shit, Anton.
Okay,
Hey, man,
Jake.
look, we're both
You've just
flirters.
shit
We
on
gotta
your
stick
own words
together.
just now. Because you just said you never watch my stuff. I asked you to verify that you'd never watched my stuff. Because you said every time I watch your stuff, all you're doing is sitting there bitching.
Now, yes, now. Now that
Oh, so you do watch my stuff. So
I
you
haven't
do.
started watching you since you made your little video kind of sticking up for me in ODD. And then I started checking you out, thinking maybe this guy has something to say. And then I watched you.
Maybe this guy has something to say that you will say. Maybe this guy has something to say.
All of them.
Yeah,
You're just
Jake.
fucking stupid.
Maybe
I
this
haven't
guy.
ever watched you ever until recently. And
That's why
I
you
found out
appear. That's why you appear
justice
so
control
ignorant.
Is all of them.
Yes, Jake, that's why you appear so ignorant. You've been making a big fuss about the Gleasons being wrong. 2 years ago, I pointed out that the Gleasons was wrong. Me,
What have
I
you
was the
done
first.
to-
By the way, Jake,
What have
just so you
done?
know.
You haven't done anything.
Just so you know, Jake.
You haven't done anything.
And what the fuck
Just
has
so you
Jake
know.
done?
Did
Going to open
nothing.
mic nights?
Like, so
Man.
he's getting pretty fucking heated right now, and
Yeah, he is.
he's trying to say that he needs to give Homeboy credit, Antonio credit, because he came up with this shit 2 years ago, and he goes, I've never watched you, and he's trying to catch him on that by saying, well, you said you haven't watched me, but you know what my videos are, and his videos are him really sitting there in his red jacket, and him talking with his little fucking baby cigarette, and he just talks about nonsense, flat earth. Nobody watches his videos, and he's like, that's why you appear so ignorant, because you haven't watched my videos, you fucking prat.
Jake.
Sharon kept fucking
Jake.
talking about it.
Jake.
Sat there
Jake.
and did nothing while Dubé kept talking about it.
Yes,
Matt
yes.
Powerland, who you fucking love so much,
Yes.
he never says that Antonio has it figured out. No. So you
No.
act like anyone ever paid any attention to you? No one ever listened to you. They kept
Jake.
going on with the Circle Sun over the Circle fucking AE map and repeating all the same garbage. The only
Yes.
one loud enough. Listen to me, fucking.
No, you don't need to.
Did you ever get them to listen?
He wasn't
I
even
was
talking at that
Yeah,
point.
this guy just has too much rage. He's got too much rage just built up.
Listen to me, fucking.
No,
What is his sex life like? Probably
Listen to
non-existent,
me,
right?
fucking.
no,
You're not listening to him.
Listen to me.
All right,
Listen.
fuck.
no.
We're listening, all right.
Only one who ever spoke loud enough
Jake.
to ever get them to fucking listen.
Jake.
You just sit there on your
Listen.
couch, bumping your gums
Listen.
with your cum-stained
Listen.
dick lips.
Listen.
What?
Listen.
Wow.
No, you listen.
Listen, Jake.
All you do is fucking run your mouth.
Jake, you're coming across like a complete twat. So why don't you calm down?
Says you. I think you're a complete twat.
Okay, but I'm not
Okay.
coming across as one.
I think you're a fake, tranny fucking,
Okay.
fake, controlled bitch.
That's
And you
okay.
say I appear to be a twat. Okay, But
That's okay.
Fuck trannies.
Okay.
Suck.
Now, Jake.
Fuck off, dude.
Okay.
Was he about to say "suck my dick" and then
It's like,
that's
caught
what it
himself? It's
sounded like.
I mean, fuck off.
Am I wrong?
You're coming across like a complete twat.
Another one to add to the. I think I'll
You're
use
coming
that one
across
more.
like a complete twat.
Listen to me, fucking.
I
No.
love that one. He got
God.
so boiled up.
I know, and I mean, not to say that I've never done it, but when you get to the point in an argument where all you do is call the other person fucking names and attack their sex life or stuff that has nothing to do with your topic, you've lost.
Yeah.
Hey, we got a comment coming through on Facebook asking a question. If anybody wants
What's the question?
It's, Flat Earthers say NASA lost the technology to get us to the moon, supposedly confirmed by the people who work for NASA. Do you guys know anything about
Now,
that?
here's something I've learned about
do
this.
not
Now,
know about
if you've
that.
ever watched Apollo 13, which is a very accurate
I like that
portrayal
movie.
of what happened for Apollo 13, what happens is that they throw a lot of that stuff into in space. That's why that technology gets lost. It doesn't ever come back. You know, the only things that come back are the top capsule where they come by.
Okay,
come
he's
back.
saying they didn't keep their fucking notes from making it the first time?
They didn't
You know,
keep the
things happen.
blueprints?
Things happen, and I'm sure there's still the blueprints are still out there, but the technology to go there is completely different, and a lot of the actual technology is no longer available. It's
I don't
lost
know,
in
man.
space.
I would think that if anything, we've advanced in technology, and it would be easier to get there.
And we would absolutely go back to the moon, but there's no reason to go back to the moon.
I was gonna say that next. Like, why?
There is no freaking reason right now. There is none. Just to shut up flat earthers? Is that the only reason why? It's
Well,
not.
they're not gonna believe those videos anyway.
What was the first? Yeah, they're definitely not. It's like, okay, we're gonna go there again, and they say
Until that one guy,
you have a
in
phone
what-
call coming in.
Yeah, I'm getting one.
Until that guy in New Mexico finally gets his homemade rocket up there.
Oh,
We're never
yeah,
gonna
and
know.
tries to just launch it. What was it? It was built
You're
on
on emergency exit. Who am I talking to? Oh, that's
Hello,
right.
caller.
Hold up, I gotta do this thing.
Oh, yeah, you gotta.
You're on emergency exit. Who am I talking to?
Hello, caller.
Caller. I don't hear.
All right.
you.
Anyway, and then coming from the same first person, what about the moon bases? Are moon bases possible?
I would guess. We'd have to be able to find the technology to get to the moon again.
Well, we need something
But-
to like mine and to be able to sustain ourselves up there as well.
Sure.
Otherwise, you're just running continual.
if we were able to fly enough materials up there to make
Try
a base
calling
and
back,
have an
caller.
artificial atmosphere that we could breathe, then I don't see it being out of the realm of possibilities.
No, but
Again, why?
the moon. Because it's close.
Right,
if
but
anything, it would be
we've
like a
got samples
strategic
of rock,
refueling
so
station.
we know what it is.
Right, but it would
Oh,
be a
good
good,
fueling, yeah.
because you burn so much of that, fuel just getting away from Earth. Once you get out, it's you use a lot less fuel for more energy, I guess. Speed and everything.
Well,
so
especially
maybe
if we do the solar wind or solar sails.
Have you guys
idea, that
watched?
would- yeah.
You guys seen Apollo 13?
Oh
right?
yeah, that's yes.
I recently watched it. I think for like the first time in a long fucking time, and there's a lot of cool shit that happened. And if you read up on any of that stuff, those men were almost lost in space.
Yeah, dude.
They had to shotgun around the fucking moon, which all that happened, and there's pictures of it. They traveled the furthest any other ones ever gone, but they were super cold. They had everything shut off in there. They used the lunar lander to help propel them back in the right direction, and somehow they made it back. I mean, it is a story. It could be fake, but
Well, I'm sure it has got to be glamorized significantly.
sure. Like that guy
but
definitely doesn't look like Tom Hanks. I'll tell you that much.
Well, no, but the mission happened, the fuck up happened, and the oh shit, let's figure out how to get him back home happened.
Yeah.
The gist of it definitely went down.
Caller, try calling back, man. I don't know what's going on, but call us
Yeah,
back.
definitely. If you can hear that out there, you tried calling. Give us a call. But anyway, that movie, man, that's one of the few movies that I can watch like over and over and over. It's
I
just
haven't
such a
watched
good
it in a
movie,
long
man.
time, but I see it is on Netflix
It's
now,
on
so maybe I'll
Netflix,
have
man.
to give it another watch.
Anyways, let's get back to Jake the asshole
Yeah,
here.
until that caller comes back in.
So Jake has had enough of this ridicule and criticism from
Well,
both
then he
sides.
needs to stop acting like a complete...
You're coming across like a complete twat.
He needs to cut that shit out.
He posted up a live stream about a week ago saying farewell to the flat Earth community. He's pulled up.
Listen to me, you fucking bitch! Listen to me, fucking.
He pulled up pictures on top of top flat earthers that he knew and became friends with, and some who weren't. He criticized them and called each of them out. And when he got to Antonio Subirats, he thought that he should defend himself one more time. So here's a clip of Jake the Asshole.
Hey, did you see Flat Earth Asshole Meltdown on the Antonio show? Flat Earth Asshole melted down. He went crazy. I went on there to call this guy a tranny fucker to his virtual face because that's what he is. He's a tranny fucker.
What does that have to do with
So I went on there
anything,
to call him
though?
a tranny fucker and to say my piece. And whenever I went to speak and say my piece, he would talk over me.
No.
And interrupt me. And he's louder because he's the moderator. He was in control of the hangout. So he kept talking over me, and I was just already irritated. So I got to the point where I just started screaming at him. Fucker! You fuck trannies, motherfucker! Fuck you! And people are like, oh, this is perfect. Now we can say that Jake melted down and that he went crazy. Yeah. It's like, no, I just get irritated that this guy even has a voice. Guys.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay, but what does it matter? I mean, transsexual people will
He uses that
too.
as an excuse to not believe a word that he says.
So what? The fact that the guy wants to have sex with people doesn't have anything to do with his ability to talk about the Earth being flat.
Oh, but there's a lot of people like that in this world.
Well,
just because you something like that, you have a different
I know,
view.
but it's like
it shows
that
his
doesn't
credibility. It shows his credibility in what he believes in and how we can't believe a word he's got to say.
I think
he shouldn't
that
have a voice.
This whole thing it destroys asshole's credibility more than Antonio's credibility.
Oh, absolutely.
I wanted to call him a
It was a
tranny
poor
fucker.
PR move on his part.
if you want to say he shouldn't have a voice in the flirth community, then talk about how shitty he is as a flirter. Who he has sex with has absolutely nothing to do with his proof of flat Earth.
So
They're disconnected.
Jake the Flat Earth Asshole, he changed his name. You want to guess what his new nickname is? Anybody?
Jake the tranny fucker.
No, he's against that. Remember.
You never know, man.
I have no
Are
idea.
you even listening?
Listen to me.
No. I mean, yeah, what's listening? I just, he
The
maybe
Flat
turned
Earth-
over a new leaf. as it were.
He did turn over a new leaf, and now the Flat Earth Asshole is now
Flat Earth Care Bear.
is now known as simply Jake the Asshole.
Jake
That's
the
right.
asshole.
The Asshole. He still
That's
holds to the
unfortunate.
idea that the Earth is not round and it appears flat. He believes
Appears flat.
It appears flat.
I'll agree with that.
He believes that these friends he made in the community are paid shills or just plain fucking
Jesus,
morons.
Quit attacking your own people.
You know what? When I think about this, there's this old saying: if you look around at the poker table and you don't see the fool, you're probably the fool.
Oh, I always heard if you don't have the drunk uncle at Christmas,
You're the drunk,
uncle
yeah.
at Christmas.
There's several iterations where it's applicable.
That one applies more to me because I hate poker, but I love the sauce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, who does? It's great stuff, man. So funny enough, Jake the Asshole has a video up of Adam Carolla and Dr. Drew's show, and a caller asks about flat
Love
Earth.
Line?
No, it's the Adam and Dr. Drew show,
right,
which
right.
they do take some of those they take love line style
Oh,
calls.
sure. You can't give up your bread and butter.
Of course, man. Great fucking show. A caller asked about flat Earth, and while Adam doesn't give a flying fuck about it or people who believe in it, Dr. Drew has some beef with flat earthers.
Actually, this guy right here had a romantic interest.
Actually, let's listen to more.
Patrick Steer.
We weren't ready yet.
Flew her. Listen to me.
I guess we're not done listening to him.
the UK. Relations with Patrick Steer, and then we're supposed to listen to anything this guy has to say afterwards.
There's such a disconnect between those two things.
Badly. Yeah. Just having a romantic interest in Patrick Steer is really bad.
So somebody wants to fuck somebody that you find
watched
repulsive.
Flat Earth with other hot
So what?
potatoes and was like, look at that lady. Wow, she's really hot. I'd like to fly her out here to the UK and get with her. Hey, Pat Steer, welcome to the hot potatoes. What a fake plastic personality he is. So for Antonio to be attracted to such a fake plastic personality and then fly him out to the UK and then have sexual relations with him, and then he wants to act like he's got the best map and he's got the sun all figured out, but he couldn't figure out that Pat was a man. Did the physical experiments to prove it.
guy needs to fucking let it go.
Yeah, sorry about that. I should have finished that clip there at the end. There, we could have got it all out. So that's the last clip I have of Jake the asshole there. We were still going to reiterate. That's what he's trying to say. You know, he just because he fucked a tranny who really gives a shit who you fuck.
Who gives a flying fuck?
But now that affects the credibility in someone he wants to believe in. That's
only in his eyes.
You know, you just have to listen to him.
Listen to me, fucking.
I don't think I can anymore.
He's just a little twat, isn't he?
You're coming across like a complete twat.
So let's listen to Dr. Drew.
All right. We'll go at sort of truths. You know, just it's one thing to have a belief that isn't true, but to call something that is self-evidently true not true.
Mm-hmm.
Right? To me, it's going the other direction, right? Having a belief it's not true, all right. But taking something that's true and undermining it sort of undermines everything. And it, at its core is a lack of understanding of just the basic principles of science and reality.
Yeah.
And that's concerning to me. That's all. That's all I'm saying. That's why it represents that to me.
Yeah, I the same. I feel like it's the same group, not the same group, but when I hear about any, the Twin Towers were brought down by the government and, and we never landed on the moon and all this kind of stuff, it's like, it just seems so impossible to pull that off. But as I've always said, whenever you talk to those people, it's always, I hate the government, I hate my dad. It's just like, it's never, I love this country, but the Twin Towers are going to come down. Like, it's always like, if you ever talk to Ed Asner about it, it's just like, we took the Twin Towers down. Okay. And we could have stopped the Holocaust, but we didn't. It's like a lot of that. Yeah. And then like, okay. So I would believe you in the conspiracy theories if there was one that ever made this government look good and not look like a tyrannical dictatorship.
Ever one that was true.
Or ever one that was true. I get, but I know what's motivating this. You have this loathing of this society and this government.
It's a low-grade paranoia of authority. Period.
Right.
That's right. So that was the end of that segment there. I was just kind of ending it on there.
I see what you did there.
What do you guys think, man? What do you think of that? That whole fucking thing with Dr. Drew there.
Well, I mean, that's a good way to look at it. Like, if you're going to, you're just nearing in the face of fucking basic science and knowledge. Like,
it's terrible to think about that. Like, these scientists are doing great things every single day. Maybe some of them aren't doing so great. I was looking at some of these brochures when I went to the dentist today, and they want me to use fluoride toothpaste.
Oh, of course they do.
Yeah, and I was like, well, why do I need to use fluoride,
Well, it's already in your drinking water, though, so you're good.
Oh, so I guess.
Yeah, it's already being poisoned to you. So, which is what it is. You were being poisoned if you're drinking tap water that hasn't been properly rid of fluoride.
Got to get the fucking...
Yeah, calcifies in your brain. Yeah.
Don't tell me that.
It does. Well, shit. The
man.
pineal gland.
I like the Corolla's point there.
Yeah, man.
Why is it always about how fucked up and terrible everybody is? And
because it's so easy to see the bad side of things.
Sure. And that's like always a good reason. Well, why would they lie about that? Well, so they could get more money and power.
Yeah, doy.
I mean, it's just the go-to fucking default answer. Like the
it's
government's just like NASA. Bond villain.
Like, it's the same thing that they have with NASA and flat earthers. Oh, no.
Right, but that one doesn't even make sense. Like, well, they need to get their budget every year. Like, they could get that still if the Earth was flat. Yep. Like, saying that it's round doesn't give them any more money when they're...
Make pop-up cards. We started with 2
explore
people.
What exists as it is. So if it was flat, then they go, holy shit, it's flat. Let's go out and fucking explore it.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, so they'd still be getting paid to explore shit.
Right.
Like, it makes no sense for them to completely spin this story.
What are they gaining from it?
Exactly. Nothing.
Yeah, exactly. I'm not getting anything. I do get something out of it. It's some sort of, like, odd satisfaction that there's idiots out there.
No, there are always going to be idiots.
Maybe we can revert some of them into looking at the right way, I mean, honestly, when you give them the when it comes to the flat Earth idea, like you give them the South Star, you give them the moon phases, like that debunks the fuck out of the rest of it. And if they can say, "Oh, where's the curvature?" It's like, dude, you could still fucking see boats disappear from the hole up.
Yeah.
And then they go, "Well, get a fucking camera." And I go, "Yeah, I'll put a camera there and I'll still watch it go over the horizon."
It'll take longer that way because I can see farther, but it will still happen.
It will still happen. Then
If
get a
it was-
telescope out and then watch it. It'll
If it was a
completely disappear.
disc and you're going around it revolution-wise, then it would list off to the fucking right.
Yep. That's right.
Instead of going over a horizon.
Yeah.
You moron.
Yep. South Star.
Like, we're too small to see the curvature with our naked eye.
Yeah,
Period.
I think part of it in these flat earthers' brains is they can't grasp the size of the Earth in relation
No,
to us.
because
like
in their-
we're tiny.
In their thing, the Earth is really fucking tiny. Like,
And it's like, no.
comparatively speaking, anyway.
It's huge. So you've got to be way up there to just start to be able to see a little bit of a curve.
A globe Earth and an atmosphere creating gravity or density, however you want to look at it, is so far-fetched. But a goddamn puddle and an ice wall and a dome with this mysterious third celestial being swimming around underneath it is fucking plausible to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Here, I got a question.
Crawl up your own ass and die.
What's y'all's favorite argument for the flat Earth? Like, just that you love to see them try and use.
Well, we've never actually talked to an adamant one, so I don't really know.
Just from what we know.
Oh,
Like,
just from
do
what
you
we know,
of
the
any-
puddle thing is just. Well, I don't know. Maybe the dome. The dome might be the most absurd
Just
thing
the
I've ever heard.
existence of a dome?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I developed a new theory on the way we see star trails and if the way they would be seen in a dome compared to the way that we see them now. I mean, they would be anyways, I have a whole theory we can get into some other
like
time.
refraction?
No. I mean, if it was a dome and they were actually on the dome and they were spinning, if you were looking at it in certain directions, it would make ellipticals instead of perfect circles and shit. And even if the only way that you'd be able to see perfect circles if you're damn near in the middle of the
all
Earth
times.
and you're able to see it spin in circles. Anywhere else in the world, it's going to look like an elliptical because of the dome over the Earth,
You got a
which
point.
doesn't make a fucking lick of sense to me. Think about how you're laying in bed and you see your fan, and if you put like a dot on it, it makes like circles, but it's not perfect little circles; they're ellipticals because it gets closer and further away from you. Anyways, that's my little theory on that. It's very steel clad. It's
It
repeatable.
makes a hell of a lot more sense than a dome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it makes sense for it. Well, it would make a dome make sense if this is what we can observe in real life, which we don't observe that. We can see.
Well, but you're using science principles to figure that out, and science is bullshit.
You're right. I got to go back and do some research without using science. What are we gonna fucking
How exactly
Well, you have
do
to
you
change,
research
You got to
then?
change the whole model.
I got to rethink it all. I mean, we
Scientific method out the window.
Yeah. Oh heck.
You know, observing, hypothesize. No, that's for suckers.
Yeah, man. Fuck that. That's
well, ironically, that's exactly what they're doing, though.
Yeah, it's for suckers.
Yeah.
I mean, they're still using the scientific process.
Let's get to the
Anyway.
news, you guys. What do you think?
Yeah, let's
All right.
do it.
Here we go.
Got the news with Nick and Lance.
Try it.
Got the news with Nick and Lance. That's right. We coming at you, coming with the right. We got the news. We've got the news. We've got the news. We've got the news. Yeah. We've got the news with Nick and Lance.
And Brandon.
That's right.
All right, that's right. We've got the news. We've got the news. We got the news. So I want to talk about this government shutdown that's happened, and it's third day.
Yeah.
And the government shutdown. Lawmakers are scrambling, and headlines are screaming.
Hang on. So before we get too far into the dumb question amnesty, government shutdown, just they run out of money to operate.
Negative.
Okay.
No, what's going on in a government shutdown is that we are trying to settle our budget.
Okay.
But there's two sides to everything, and we have primarily Republicans, but we also have a lot of Democrats that are in some of the office, and it's only about a third of what we have as Republicans. So right now they're having this debate about the wall. They do not want to fucking put the wall up, the Democrats. But they can't agree on it, which everybody needs to agree. So what's going on is they shut down the government so that they can settle this idea. Now, only essential government's going to still work, but
Right.
non-essential is not going to work. And they're on what they call a furlough, such as, like DMVs and the military. But the military is still going to get to work. They all don't get paid, but the military can get paid later. So that's what's going on right now. The Congress needs to pass it. This is what they're doing. They're trying to pass a budget resolution by the end of Friday to fund the government. But the political parties can't come to agreement on the bill, wrangling especially over whether to include immigration measures, like a fix for the Deferred Action for Childhood Arrivals, the DACA program, and whether to pass a short-term fix or come to a lasting budget agreement. They're just not coming together for an agreement. Democrats are blaming Republicans. And vice versa. But the Republicans, they control the White House and both
If
houses
you
of
control all
Congress.
three branches of government and still can't get anything done, you don't get to blame the other side.
Yeah.
That's the bottom line.
That's kind of true.
In fact, every time in recent history there's been a shutdown, we've had a Republican Congress. Also something worth noting. But if you can't get shit done when you control executive, legislative, and judicial branches, the problem's on you.
Well, let me think about it. If, like, Democrats, let's say some of the Democrats in office and they don't shut down, they get along, it's because the Republicans, and it's like the Democrats are the ones who are like, no, we're not going to do it, but Republicans always go with it. Democrats are like, no, fuck that and shit. I mean, I don't know if I'm not trying to say like they're doing that, but that's what seems to be.
Never, ever, ever did anything. But, I saw the video of one lady saying, okay, we need to make sure that we do something to ensure our military gets paid for their service. Can we all agree that the military should get paid during this? And Mitch, fuck you, your fucking stupid face McConnell is the one who objected to it.
Yeah. Let's see. Republicans who need cooperation from the other side to pass the funding of a bill with over 60 votes are blaming the Democrats.
Right.
The bill now faces a murkier future in the Senate. They tried voting
But again,
on
isn't
Thursday.
that on them? Like, they have 51 out of the 60 needed votes. Isn't it kind of on them to, like, hey, we want your votes, we need to get them? Like, you can't just go, yeah, you're not voting for me.
Well, we don't want to be a fucking dictatorship, so we have to come into agreement.
I know, but it's like you need 9 Democratic votes, so fucking compromise or work with them to get the 9 votes.
On the other hand, yeah, I mean, you're seeing. I mean, Donald Trump says something in the budget needs to have the wall in it. Like, because they need to, I guess we're paying for the wall at first, and then we're going to take the money from fucking, that's not happening. That's bullshit. We don't need that fucking goddamn wall. We do need fucking Border Patrol. We do need more safety, but that fucking wall is not going to stop anybody from fucking coming into the country.
It's not going to stop any drugs. They're not just being fucking driven over. There's ships. They're being flown. They're coming from other fucking countries anyway. Like,
you know what?
Jesus Christ.
Andy used to argue to me about like how like cartel still does like marijuana. It's like their biggest trade still, and I didn't believe it. And I saw this this thing on Netflix, a little documentary, and then like cartels were saying like marijuana is like still a big industry for them. They still bring it around. It's like, holy fuck, who still buys cartel fucking weed when we have all these states that are legalized and they're
right?
It's like this is the reason why we need to start buying local. And
always
shopping
shop local,
so
especially with your weed.
And know where your weed comes from, especially.
And like, don't they have tunnels? I mean, they fly. They have other means.
Oh man, the cartel is super fucking sneaky, bro.
I know. They're not just going to
sneaky.
put it in the bed of a pickup truck and fucking drive it over the fucking border.
They do.
They still do that.
I'm sure that kind of happens, but if you catch a pickup truck, you've missed out on how many millions of pounds that probably come in other ways.
That's in any method of them shipping. And you catch that, there's probably 20 or 30 more
it's
that
just
make
like,
it.
Putting up a goddamn barbed wire fence shit is not going to stop the problem.
Fun fact, Coast Guard ships stop more marijuana a year than anything else.
See?
Yeah, they still keep grabbing it.
Are we going to build a wall out in the Gulf? In the Pacific Ocean?
Also, someone else agrees, buy local weed.
Yeah.
Goddamn right.
Support your local dealer, goddammit.
Whether it's food, drugs, clothing, whatever.
Yeah.
Go local.
Yeah, fuck all that Amazon shit. Unless you absolutely need something, but like, why bother with that, man? You're just killing your local stuff.
So the Republicans and Democrats need to come to a compromise so that we can open up the government again.
Sure, I agree.
So that many hundreds of thousands of workers can get back to work.
You don't think they're still going to get paid for it?
Keeping us
I've
waiting.
talked to government employees and like, I enjoy the time off. Granted, my next paycheck's a bit late, but I still get it.
What do you think about this whole DACA thing? And I think this is what they're getting at too. It's like if you come in here illegally and then you have
if you have a kid here,
you have a kid here. What is the future of that kid? What because you're here illegally.
Well,
already.
I know personally know people who have been born in other countries and they have dual citizenship simply because they were born there.
Okay. So
that we're not the only place that does that.
Yeah. But other places are shithole countries, as you know.
Oh, right. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. But yeah, like, anyways, man, we it's shutting down. But this whole DACA thing, my mom was an immigrant. She came here legally, and did all the right things to become a citizen.
Yeah, I've always said that regarding immigration. Why do we find out, instead of being like, fuck this illegal shit, let's find out why so many people are risking so much to do it illegally instead of going through the proper channels.
Because their country's a shithole. That's why they're doing it.
Well, right. So that's why they want to come here. But what is so convoluted and fucked up about our process for them to do it legally that they're risking so much to avoid that?
Yeah, I think it's because
So let's fix that process.
we only let a certain amount of migrants in a year or something. We probably capped that, pretty quickly with Mexicans and Muslim or Muslim-based Easterners or whatever they're doing. I can't pretend to know the immigration laws. I don't.
I haven't seen the numbers on where most of the immigrants are coming from.
But they are mostly coming. There's a lot coming from Mexico. I know that because I grew up in California.
That number's been going down, though.
Well, thank you, Trump.
See, we don't need a wall. We just need him to keep blathering his fucking mouth hole.
Yeah, because they don't want to be
And they're
here.
going to be like, fuck this, I'm out of here.
Maybe that's his plan the whole time. Make it seem like a shitty place to be. Make it a
just scare
shithole
people
country.
away.
Like, who the fuck wants to go to
Unless, of
fucking
course, you're
US
from
and-
Norway. Or whatever. But
God,
apparently,
they've got to be laughing at us.
Apparently, it's a very expensive process to become a legal citizen, which I'm sure, because I'm sure you've got to get lawyers and all this shit and paperwork and time. And if you're an immigrant, you're probably kind of scared of the legal
Well, you're
justice
coming here because you don't have any money.
Yeah,
in
exactly.
Some, in
you don't
some
have
cases.
it to begin with. So, but hey, here's an idea. How about maybe when you catch people who are illegally, instead of just deporting the masses, they've already started to build and develop a life here. Why not help them get full
Help them
immigration
attain
status
citizenship.
and become citizens?
How do you do that? Use more taxpayers' money for people that came here
it would
the
be
wrong
cheap.
way?
It would end up paying off in the end if you get them to become citizens and they stay here and pay taxes instead of sending the money off for them to come back and try
that's
again.
coming out of
you're
taxes.
gonna outlaw off foot a bunch of money right then, but they're gonna stay.
But we put more taxes into it so that more people that
Dude, I would rather more taxes go to immigration helping people come make a better life than some of the other bullshit that's going on.
That's true.
So
And
it's
also,
if
if
it
we
wants
do
to
that,
go to
then they're putting taxes back in.
Exactly.
You know
It
what?
pays off.
What if NASA?
And what if they had to pay for some of
What
it?
if we expose NASA for what they really are, so that we can take that $30 billion a year and use it for immigration? That's what we should fucking do.
Yeah, there you go.
Or let NASA become,
they could be head of
called
immigration.
MESA. They'll call it MASA.
Why don't we just have Google Earth watching the border? Oh, there's another one running. They're watching anyway.
They already are. Yeah, we just
All right. Any guys have any news you guys want to share?
Yeah. Speaking of immigrating stuff in.
Okay.
Actually, give me 10 seconds.
Listen to me, fucking.
No, we're listening, Brandon. What the hell?
So in the wonderful country of Lithuania. Are you guys familiar with Lithuania?
Yeah, sure. Many times.
And speaking
I've been
of
there.
smuggling, we were speaking about the cartel smuggling in drugs or whatever. Tobacco is the big smuggling point in Lithuania. And they're using GPS technology and throwing these big bundles into the rivers when they start to finally unthaw. They throw them in there so they get trapped under the ice. And this is coming from a neighboring country. I think it was Belarus. And they flow into the river. They get caught up somewhere. Somebody with a GPS tracker would go find it and unpack them. But basically, they found 1 in every 6 cigarettes.
How do you get a random GPS?
You just put the transmitter in with the packaging.
But how does it stay?
Oh, so the smugglers are doing this. I was thinking the government was finding them.
Oh,
this way.
no,
The
no.
smugglers are doing. Got it. Okay.
But they did end up getting caught, and just
that's pretty brilliant.
I'm
man.
having some slow speeds.
What happened to our caller?
buffering here? I don't know, man. Not yet.
Pissed him off.
But
it was probably the asshole.
The government says that it's lost about 50 million euros.
Do we have a voicemail saying 1111111111111?
Go ahead, Brandon.
Let's see. The cigarettes that they were smuggling in are 4 times more expensive in Lithuania than in neighboring Belarus. So that's why they were buying them there, shipping them over. But it is estimated that 1 in 6 cigarettes in the country is illegal. Cigarettes. So
1 in 6,
you want to get on that?
So everybody's got their something, man.
Yeah, man.
We're worried about weed. They're worried about cigarettes.
Yeah,
Canada's worried about Americans coming up
Maybe
there.
it's just what we need to expect. I was watching something where they live in New York and somebody just got robbed. They were like, "Oh, now you're a really New Yorker." What? That's supposed to be okay? But I guess that's the life that you have to live when you're a New Yorker.
You do get accustomed to things wherever you happen to be. You do.
Yeah, that's just how shit is, man. Yeah,
Damn, that's real.
There's
man.
always going to be
That's hood.
people trying to make money, and the quickest way to make money in this goddamn world is to sell drugs.
I
man.
stopped for gas today and got approached, and this lady was trying to scam me. I'm standing there pumping gas.
What was the scam?
She's like, "Oh, I'm far from home."
And no, she was there. Her and this dude were standing at the front of the building, and she came walking over, cigarette in hand, by the way, to the fucking pumps. That's always brilliant. And she's like, "Okay, I need some help. We had a room over at the W Hotel." I was like, okay.
Okay.
She's like, actually, my fucking ex-husband got the room. I was like, okay. But then somehow he kicked them out of the room, or they can't get the room because they need a credit card. You know, they have to put down in case there's incidentals.
Yeah.
You just have to have a card on file. Everything's already paid for, and we're real careful people. Like, we wouldn't do anything, but can you help us?
She wants your credit
she
card
wants me
on
to put
file.
my credit card down on file at the W Hotel.
Oh my God.
You're coming across like a
And I'm
complete
just like,
twat.
no, that's not going to happen. She's like, no, but we're really careful people. I'm like, so careful that you got fucked over and are left without a hotel room or a card of your own? Like, how am I supposed to buy into this bullshit?
Oh my G.
No. Now get the fuck away from
Wow.
the gas pump with the goddamn lit cigarette.
Yeah. Real smart when you
It was, and then she's like, well, do you at least have $1? I was like, you went from a really
there it
expensive
is.
hotel
Yeah.
room to $1?
Yeah.
Get the fuck out of
That
here
is
with that
too
shit.
fucking good, man. Too good.
Oh.
Any other news? You
I
guys?
should have been like, yes, I do, and then climbed into my car and just drove the fuck away. But
Yeah. Be like, yeah, thanks for asking.
I do have $1.
I got a couple of
actually.
them, but you know.
I'm going to go inside and use it to buy a bottle of water right in front of your fucking face.
All right. Well, that's the end of our show, you guys. Thank you so much for listening. We should be hearing the outro here in a second. Oh, there it is.
Right on time.
If you guys like our content, please check us out on iTunes. All of our old ratings disappeared when we went to podbeam.com, which, by the way, you can go to emergency exit podcast.podbeam.com. Is that how we...
That's a lot of dots and pods.
Just go to Podbeam.
Podbean. Emergency
I keep
exit.
saying bean, but I mean beam.
No,
it's bean with an N, like coffee bean.
It's
No,
like
it's bean.
flicking a bean.
Like flicking a bean.
Flicking a bean.
So it's emergencyexit.podbean.com. We also have our own website. That's emergencyexitpodcast.com. We're also on Twitter at EMEXPod. Give us a like on Facebook. Say hello. We constantly look at that stuff. We're always posting. We're going to be back next Monday night with a new topic. We got things going. We're rolling for this new year. Nick's going to be where? Real quick.
Where?
Anywhere. Oh, we're going to be...
nowhere until first weekend of February.
Fair enough. All right. Well...
I'll be in Austin.
For Nick, the Passion Rider, Brandon, the Hard Hat Mitchell, I'm Lo saying...
That's right.
All right. That's how you do a podcast, right?